Okay, so I am writing a paper on investigative journalism and how it has declined in the past few years um, for my composition class on media. So I'm going to go to the library database. I don't know the website for it, so I'm going to Google it. Okay, so I would start off by doing sorry. Okay, I begin the research process by going to the library database and just looking up keyword stuff. Seeing if anything pops up on the subject. Here's a cool site. This looks interesting. Okay. So I used I go to the library database because it has a lot of reliable articles, and it's always a good place to start. Because a lot of things pop up when you just type in like a keyword for what you're looking up. A lot of the stuff isn't really useful sometimes, but every so often you hit a home run and find something really useful, and it's always a good place to start. And it's always good to look at the abstract. That's what I always do, because that's how you get a sense of what you're looking at. So you can kind of figure out right away if it's going to be useful, so you don't have to read the whole article. So I use the search term investigative journalism because everything involving investigative journalism is going to pop up, and there's a lot of stuff on that. Okay, so this is kind of a useful source. It's called Interest and Willingness to Pay for Investigative Reporting, a Solution for the Crisis of Journalism. So right away the title is telling me everything. So I'm choosing this link because it sounds useful from the abstract and the title, and it seems like a legit source. So I will save this source because it seems reliable and useful. I'm just gonna open up a new tab. Hold on to that one for right now. So I will keep up with the information for right now. I'm just going to keep it up in tabs, but normally I'd add them to my folder in my library, and by doing that I can always go back to them and find them. So that's good. And then I start off making a works cited page too, like right away, otherwise things get messy and you always lose track of everything. So I will keep up with the information I locate by creating a works cited page and putting the links in there too, and then also saving my database stuff to my folder and bookmarking sites and emailing them to myself and doing a bunch of different steps. That way you don't lose any of your sources. Okay, investigative. Okay. There's a bunch of sources that seem useful when you look up investigative journalism. So normally when I'm doing research, I kind of jot down notes, and that is how I keep up with the information that I locate, by kind of, for each source, I'll take down notes on it, just like about why it's important, whether it's just like kind of like an annotated bibliography sort of thing, or like on a sheet of paper even, just so that way I can like figure out which one's the most important to me when I'm like going over it all as a whole, so I can see like which one was the most useful, what and what will be helpful for my research. Okay, this one doesn't have an abstract. No idea if this is going to be useful or not. I'll save it, but it's probably not going to get used. Okay. Well, there's a bunch of interesting articles and everything. So I'm going to switch the search terms to get a different set of data, or information, not data. So I'm changing my search terms to decline. No, I'm going to do, I don't know what to do actually. I don't know what other search terms do right now. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to change it to investigative reporting. That's not how you spell investigative. Wow, that was off. Search. Because when you change the search terms, you get lots more lots more sources to go over. Yeah, okay, so this is actually the exact same amount of stuff because I pretty much looked up the same thing again. Right now I can't think of anything else. I can't think of another topic or another search term. But normally I'd do a bunch of different ones because that's how you get a broader range of information and data and reports and all that. Okay. So if you just look up investigative, like alone, a lot of cool stuff comes up. Kind of a bunch of different stuff comes up. Doesn't all have to do with anything that I'm looking at, but there's more stuff now than what I thought. Oh, also, I actually forgot to do this. Okay, so normally when you're looking at a database, I always do full text and scholarly peer-reviewed journals, just to narrow my search, so that way I'm not getting a bunch of things that aren't about anything, and I also know they're reliable and they have like a full PDF text with them, so that way I can actually like save that and use it, instead of like saving an article and thinking you'd be able to use it, and then like you get to it and there's nothing attached to it, and there's like no article actually, it's just the abstract and like a little tidbit on it, but nothing important, which is always really annoying when that happens. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the Kennesaw library search stuff, not the database. I want to actually go to like the library books, search the catalog. So the next place I look for information is the library catalog because I like books better than the internet. So I'm going to search all fields of the library. And I'm going to just go back to my good topic of investigative journalism. Search in the library. So now it's at the Gill Find website. It has all the books on it. And it's sorted by relevance. So I like the library and I like using books because you can kind of just like, you can actually like, once you like go to the library and like find a book on something, normally there's a lot of similar books around it that are about the same thing, and then you can find more books. And also the librarian's really helpful if you ever need anybody. And books are very informative. They provide a lot of interesting things that you would never think of because other people have thought of it first. Other people are really smart and interesting. Also, it tells you if they're checked out online. So like you don't even, if like they're gone and like you can't find it, you are aware of that. You don't have to like search all over the place for it because you know it's not there already. Here we go. Here's a book that looks useful. Okay, so I'm sticking to like kind of more recent years, like the past 20 years, I guess. There's a lot of textbooks on the evolution of investigative journalism that are from like the 50s. That I guess could be useful like for a starting point, but it's not really what I want to look at. So yeah, so the decline of investigative journalism. Most of these are about like specific places. I'm sure they provide a lot of information about like how investigative journalism has been used. I don't really know, honestly. I don't like ones that are about like specific countries. Okay, so then I always go on and like read the description of the book, like the summary of the book. This one looks good. It was written in 2014, so I know it's updated. Okay, perfect. See, this is a good book. It's What is the Outlook for True Investigative Reporting? And it highlights the ways journalism is changing, particularly in the context of digital and online media. Perfect. That seems like a great source. And it's a textbook. Oh no, it's a video. Oh, it's a video. That could be useful, actually. I like, it's interesting to watch a video. Cool. Okay, so that is not a book, but that is a good source, and they have it in the library. Okay, this one was written in 2005, so it's pretty updated too. Description. This could be interesting. This could be useful. I don't know yet. I can't really tell from this. I can go to the library and look through it and look at the pages specific to what I want to find, and then that only takes a little bit of time. That really is not. It's not that difficult to do. Okay, so now I'm just gonna Google things. I've got a bunch of different sources already, but I need some internet stuff. So the next place I'm gonna look for information is the internet because there's a lot of stuff on the internet. So I'm just gonna start out with a simple search. Decline of investigative journalism. Perfect. Okay, so PBS is the first site that comes up. So I know PBS is pretty reliable. My dad actually works for PBS, so that's cool. PBS has some good stuff on it. Okay, so a lot of the times when you Google stuff, a lot of like pointless things come up, or like articles and stuff, which are good, but sometimes they're like unreliable and they have a lot of different like opposing viewpoints, which is interesting because then you get a lot of different sources, but sometimes you don't actually get anything out of it. So you kind of have to go through and actually read things that you Google because there's not normally an abstract on them because it's not like a scholarly article. So we shall see. Is it time?
It's time.
All right.
I know. It feels like it goes so fast.
Yeah.
So let me save the recording.
Okay.
All right.